go. All right. What is happening, everybody? This is the Cave Cast. I am one half of your host for our show. I'm Big Temp. This is Big Mike. What's happening with you, Big Mike?
What's going on?
I
Pretty
just
much same, man.
yeah, exactly. It's always, trying to stay in motion and keep one foot in front of the other. Before we do start tonight's tonight's pod or our stream anyway, I uh, I wanted to make sure of a couple of things because last time we got on here, we had some problems. we we had some major issues, all kinds of technical difficulties, and I was not very happy uh, with what was going on. So I just wanted to make sure that everything is going according to plan, right? So uh, I wanted to make sure that you, your microphone was working correctly. I wanted to make sure that the picture was coming through, and if anybody is actually on watching, which I'm not counting on everybody being on time. I did post it on Facebook. I posted it on TikTok. I posted it on Instagram. So I just wanted to make sure everybody, if you do and you get a chance, if you guys can comment and let us know if you can hear us okay and that the picture is coming through okay, I would really, really, really appreciate it. And on behalf of Mike, I'm sure he would too. Uh,
Most definitely.
we we have some stuff we really want to talk about tonight. We think is pretty pretty pertinent to what's getting ready to happen tomorrow. And before we do, though, I would like to, on all seriousness, say that our thoughts and prayers are with the families and the victims of those horrific shootings that happened today at Appalachia High School down in Winder or Winder. I can't even pronounce it right. Georgia. I heard that uh, they do have the suspect in custody. So our thoughts and prayers are going out to those family members, especially to those who lost a loved one today. We are we are really in a point where it just doesn't.
It just
It,
keeps happening, man. It's
yeah.
ridiculous.
So
They
I'm
said
not
he was
gonna.
like,
14. He
I
was
was gonna say, they
14.
said he's like 14. That
Yeah.
is insane, man.
So if you guys are
Man,
seeing this, and you know, we don't know how this all got to the point where it did for this kid and what happened in that area, and the people who lost their lives. But I will say, I'm not going to go into politics about this. All I'm going to say is this country needs prayer. That's for sure.
definitely. And that's
As a
across the board,
Yeah, as
just in general.
yes, for sure. So with that being said, we're gonna jump off and let everybody know we are in the midst of the NFL regular season 2024 starting, and the first game coming up to start this season is none other than your Super Bowl, back to back Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, at home against the Baltimore Ravens. All I can say is
The damn birds.
this, it couldn't have been a better way to start the season to me. It really couldn't have. It could
No
not have
way.
been. It couldn't have been a better way. I want to see some tomahawks hitting a murderous, you know, row of or flock of ravens, whatever you want to call them. I want it to just destroy. Now, I know I'm being a little.
I'm kind of upset about Hollywood not playing. Like
What?
especially this specific game. I'm kind of upset because I want them to play against the Ravens.
Well, I'm just going to tell you, Mike, they're saying it is hard to hear you, just so you know.
Are they?
Yeah. Yeah, they're saying it's
What's
hard to
going
hear you.
on?
I don't know what your gain is on. Uh, usually they have a gain on your microphone where it says it's like at between 1 and 6. So I'm just letting you know they are saying it is hard to hear you. So shout out to my guy Brent. Brent is who is letting me know what's happening. Brent, I appreciate you, man. Now, we'll see if we can get Mike's microphone a little bit louder. I'm going to start off by saying this season, the start of this season, as Mike is actually gone silent for a second, what's happening is the first game, September 5th. We've been looking forward to this. Uh, Ravens coming in to Arrowhead. Hey, if you are a Ravens fan, you may not like me by the time I'm done with this because I think there are some things that need to be addressed when it comes to uh, the Ravens. And not that the Ravens aren't a good team, but I've been getting a lot of flack about how the Ravens are going to, come into Arrowhead and they're going to beat the Chiefs. And look, if you're coming in and you're coming to beat the Chiefs, you're going to have to come ready. We all know that, right? So that's not a thing that's easily done. You're going to have to come ready to play, right? Some of the things that are kind of concerning though to me about the Ravens though is that the Ravens did not play any of their starters during the preseason. Not at all. I don't think I've ever heard of that. Mike, you got your mic on? Is it still going?
Yeah, I turned it back on. Still
Okay.
here. If anybody can hear me, let me know.
Yeah, if anybody can hear, if Mike's mic is doing pretty good, let us know. Put it in the chat. Let us know.
Yeah, I
I
don't
would
know
appreciate
why.
it.
I don't know
Uh,
why.
I don't know, but I think you got a different pair of headphones on this time with a different mic. It should be fine. But
That's what
uh,
I'm saying. Yeah.
what's concerning to me when it comes to this is we have the Ravens coming into this game with no snaps during the preseason for any starters. I've never heard of this before. It's it's not one of those things that you hear of very often. So to me, I'm like, I wonder why that's happening. Why would you not play any of your starters, right? During the preseason. Kind of see where they're at. But I'm not a part of that coaching staff. That's number one. Number two, uh, the Ravens lost 3 starters from their defense last year. And mind you, these were pretty good starters.
The offensive
Jadavian.
line on that right side.
Yeah, so the 3 starters from the Ravens defense was Jadavian Clowney, Geno Stone, and Patrick Queen, right? So right now, especially, like I said, no snaps for the starters. I'm thinking to myself, so what do we know about the Ravens, right? As far as the defense goes, well, we know the corners are probably going to be pretty decent, especially their secondary anyway. So they're probably going to be pretty good. But,
Nate Wiggins.
huh?
I think Nate Wiggins is gonna be out.
Yeah. So, I mean, we know they're going to probably be pretty good. But we also know you lost a lot of experience between Jadavian Clowney, Patrick Queen, and Geno Stone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, on top of that, not getting any reps during the preseason for any of the starters to see where they're at, that's kind of questionable. Ravens fans, I don't know if y'all watching us. You may not be, but at the same time, I got to ask those questions. What the fuck are y'all doing? Right? So, Number three on this list of concerns for me when it comes to this game for the Ravens is, Mike, you did mention it, and that is three returning starters on the offensive line. Actually, two returning starters on the offensive line. And that would be Ronnie Stanley and Tyler Linderbaum. That is the returning starters on the offensive line. So it's pretty much more than 50% of the line is gone from last year.
And that right side is not looking good
Yeah, buddy.
right now.
So let me ask you this then, Mike. And I haven't gotten anybody to say anything about if your mic is not working or not, but I'm hoping somebody, if they can tell me if they can hear you or whatever. But here's what I want.
As a matter of fact, hold on.
Yeah.
Before you continue, as a matter of fact,
What?
I'm about to check right now
Okay.
because this is ridiculous. Let me watch it.
Brent said it's better, but it's still not super loud.
Still doing it?
He said, but have him shout it out. I don't know if you want to shout, but you might want to talk a little louder, but I don't know. It's got to have something. It's got to be something to do with the setup you have for your Apple.
Oh, it's weird. I wonder if
But
it's just picking up through my phone. That might be.
it could be it could be
I
trying
don't
to.
know why.
I don't either.
All right, I'll try to just talk a little louder. See if
All right. So my concerns when it came to this, and thanks, Brent. Man, Brent, he's always on top of it, man.
yeah,
I
he
got to
threw
give him
that clutch, man. I
that.
don't know what's going on. Like any other time it works. Like, I guess. I mean, we are on live now, so I guess it's different.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So what do you think with that offensive line? Like you said, the right side is suspect to you. What do you think happens with this Chiefs defensive line, knowing that they can move Chris Jones to the right, they can move him to the left, and on top of that, they can leave him at D tackle in the middle. They're going to be moving Chris Jones a lot, I think, during this game, depending on what formation the Ravens come out in, right? I think that we're going to see a lot of movement from Chris Jones in this game.
I think they're going to load up and attack that right side.
You might be
They're
right.
going to. I think they're going to send a lot of different people on that left side, with a lot of different bodies
Yeah,
on the left side, and they gonna cause havoc. That's what I think.
I think you could be right about that. I think you could be right. I just know that when it comes down to it, we have a lot of different, how should I say, we have a lot of different things we can throw at them, right? We can throw, we can
For
throw
sure.
linebackers coming off that edge. We can throw uh, corners coming off of a corner blitz off that edge, loading up on that one side. We did a lot of that with McDuffie last year. So,
I could just see them putting. I could just see them putting Cam Thomas over there, and
yeah,
then
I
just
mean,
going,
you could.
bro.
Yeah, that's another guy that we did pick up in this offseason from a trade. I think that's actually going to make a big difference until Minihue comes back. So
Right.
uh,
Yep. I
that
agree.
that to me makes the biggest difference in this game. I do understand that we have some problems that we're not 100% sure of how it's going to work with our cornerback room, especially at number two corner. Uh, but I do know that if the offensive line is going to have problems, against this Chiefs defensive line, and we can give them more time to sit and watch what's happening, give them more chances to make adjustments. I think the better off the defensive line is, the better off our corners will play, right? Uh, give them more time to recover if they need to. So it's going to be a learning curve, especially for whoever is at the number two position uh, on that Chiefs defense at corner. So the safeties I'm not really worried about. Reed will be back. So for everybody that was worried about Reed, they said he'll be back. We don't know how many snaps he'll get. He may only suit up. He may not even get any snaps. We
I'm
don't
gonna be
know.
honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think Hicks is going to play a lot.
I do too.
because
I
of that
think
reason right there.
Jaden Hicks, the rookie out of
Yeah, he's. I think he's
Washington,
gonna play a lot.
Washington State, he is a stud. I think he will get a lot of burn, a lot of playing time. So we'll just wait and see about that. Uh, there are different kind of concerns when it comes to you know things that we haven't been able to be privy to because we weren't at the camps. We only got to see little bits and pieces as far as the Chiefs go. Uh, but the running back room for the Chiefs, with uh, it down to three people or three backs, one of those backs is a pickup from the Denver Broncos and Samaje Perine. Uh, he hasn't really gotten a chance to really dig and dive deep into that playbook yet, but he might get some snaps during this game because,
I'll get some
like I,
snaps.
yeah, with with Pacheco being the number one back, you're not going to want to use him on every down. I know that's not going to happen. I do see Carson still getting some burn in this game, uh,
Yeah.
especially short yardage. Short
Yeah,
yardage.
short, more so short yardage and like red zone situations for sure. But
Yeah, exactly. So I do see that happening, uh, but not having that extra running back. That I know Samaje's there, but the thing about it is not having Clyde there with the experience, the knowing of the offense, his blocking ability, his ability to catch out of the backfield. And another thing that people haven't talked about is that we did not re-sign McKinnon this year. And that's another guy that, I think could have helped us, but at the same time, it was time to move on. As of now, we don't know what could happen here later during the season. We don't have a clue. So, but as of
I
right
will
now,
say, I will say, Perrine is a perfect like swap. Like if you wanted to swap McKinnon,
yeah,
at least for the
yeah,
time being,
yeah,
he's like the perfect guy to have come
he
in
can he
and
can
take
catch out of
McKinnon's
the
spot.
backfield. He can catch out of the
Yeah,
backfield. He's a big back. I'm like, got some weight to him. So he's gonna be able to run it through and get those yards where he falls forward. So I like that. I do like that. I don't know how many snaps he'll get during this game, uh, but I got a funny feeling we will see him maybe once or twice. Never know. So uh, I think you're I think you're right though. They're going to try to expose a couple of things with uh, the Ravens offensive line, and I think the Chiefs offense is going to try to attack certain areas on the field offensively. Uh, Maybe in those spots where you don't have Jadeveon Clowney anymore, you don't have Patrick Queen anymore. You've seen what happened last year when they played the Ravens, and they tried to keep attacking the middle of the field with Travis Kelce. Now I don't know if they're going to attack it in the way that they did last year in the playoffs.
man. If they do that, Travis. Not only is Travis Kelsey gonna eat,
Yeah,
Rasheed Rice is gonna eat,
yeah,
and I'm gonna be honest
exactly.
with you. You might see Sky Moore catch some passes in the middle
Yeah,
of the field. I'm
you
just letting y'all know
could,
that right now.
you could. So
I'm just
speak,
telling y'all. Just
speak,
saying.
speaking
He
of that,
might get some
speak.
catches in the middle of the field. Y'all do
He
that. I'm just
might.
saying.
Speaking of that, we do have a guy that the Chiefs fan base is real familiar with. He won a Super Bowl here with us, and he's back, Juju Smith-Schuster. And I don't know how much time he's going to get during this game. I don't know how many times he's going to get targeted. I do see this being a good thing for the Chiefs in a way where he's a guy who knows the offense and he knows how Patrick plays. So
I ain't
I
gonna
think,
lie. I totally forgot about him. When I said Sky,
yeah,
I literally forgot about Juju. So there's another guy who I actually think is going to have a pretty decent season with the Chiefs. And he ain't gonna have to be the number one option. So
yeah, exactly. He's not going to have to be the number one
just saying.
option. So
Or even a number two. You don't even have to be a
yeah,
number two.
No, he doesn't even have to be a number 2. Marquise Hollywood Brown is going to be out. I don't know when he's going to be back.
They
It
say
could
week
be,
2.
yeah, we'll see,
So
but we'll just have to wait and see. But in the meantime, we do have a plethora of wide receivers that are available to us. So I'm not going to really worry about the wide receiver core. That's not a big concern for me. But
yeah, they'll
being
be
that
fine.
yeah, being that as it may, Juju Smith-Schuster is back, and he's a guy who knows the system and he knows how to play with Patrick, so that does help. Uh, Moving on from there, I don't understand a lot of the disrespect that has come in, the form of the off season.
Come on, man. We already know why, man. Come
I
on.
get it.
We already know why they're doing this, man.
I get it, but at the same
Crazy.
time, I don't get it. It's there's a such thing as, the champs are the champs until somebody takes them down, right? And a lot of times you don't give the best player in the league,
Ammo.
bullets, yeah, you don't give him ammo. You don't give him ammo to come and say, okay, this is what they think of me, right? Guys got jokes. It's different when your teammates got jokes because you play with them. You got love for those guys, right? But when it's other guys from different teams or coaching staffs or, anything of that nature, fan bases, it kind of hits home for you because it just tells you how much they don't respect you, right? And the reason they don't respect you has nothing to do with what you've done. It's just the fact that their team sucks.
No, that's facts.
I'm sorry.
That's
I'm
definitely
being
true.
honest.
'Cause
If you don't like what I said, let's be honest. Take an evaluation and look at your team. Have you looked at them?
man,
Be honest. Okay, they probably suck. So we ain't gonna sit here and act like
that is tough.
it's the truth, though. Think about it, right? There are a number of teams in this league that are good, right? Any team,
Sure.
and a number of those teams could win a Super Bowl. Let's not act like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win a Super Bowl right now. They're not ready. They're not, right? Let's not act like the New Orleans Saints are going to win a Super Bowl.
Bro, they ain't gonna be good no time soon. I'll tell you that
Let's
right now.
yeah, let's not act like the Buffalo Bills are going to win a Super Bowl because they're not. I'm sorry. They had their chance. They had a window. They did
It's
not.
just,
They're not going to do
yeah,
it. That's not right
I
now.
don't see it.
Okay. Let's not
At
act
least
like
not this year.
no. Let's not act like. And as much as I love Tyreek Hill, let's not act like Miami's going to win a Super Bowl right now. I'm sorry. There are reasons why these teams talk the way that they talk. And I'm not saying all those teams have talked about Mahomes, but there are reasons why we get a lot of hate as far as the teams that talk shit about Mahomes. There's a reason why, and it's because their team sucks. Ask any one of those coaching
what's crazy?
staffs. What?
You know what's crazy? I be watching these videos, man, of these people talking about Mahomes, and like the number one thing that people they run to is the fact that Mahomes is put in this perfect situation, right?
Oh yeah.
And look, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Mahomes wasn't put in a good situation, right? We all know he was put in a pretty good situation. We know
Put
that.
in. Wait a minute. He wasn't put in. There was teams who passed on him.
Well, no,
There was
that's
teams
true.
that passed
That's
on him.
true. But you get what I'm saying, though.
I
just
get
saying,
what
like,
I get the excuse
Yeah,
that they
I get
they
what
want to
you're
come
saying.
up with.
right. But this what I'm saying though. Like they make it seem like there aren't quarterbacks that have been put in good situations. Tua is in a pretty damn good situation, bro. You got
Br-
two. What do you say? Is it still not working?
No. Brent said, I mean, the Giants won from a wild card. Yes, they did. But let's be real. They had the number one
Still-
defense in the league the first year that they won.
They
that
had an
shit.
elite. Yeah,
They had an elite defense, right?
elite defense.
Elite.
One in a
Hey,
generation
and-
type of defense.
And what's funny about that is that there was a common thing right there with what you said, Brent. What's the one thing that was in common with what the Chiefs are doing right now? They had Spags.
And I will say,
Just saying, they had
remember that.
Spags.
You know what's crazy? So remember when Spags first kind of got with the Chiefs?
Yes.
We had some questions about him, right? Because he was doing some iffy. He was doing some
Yeah,
iffy
of
shit.
course. But
he was doing a lot of iffy
he
shit.
was
And I
trying to
just
figure
like, what's going
he was
on?
trying to figure out what he could not do with the talent
Yeah,
that he
with
had,
his
right?
personnel. Yeah,
So
we didn't have the talent. We didn't have the talent that we did or that we do now then. And
yeah,
I feel like he was experimenting with what would work around Chris Jones and
yes,
what players we could put around him,
yeah.
you know, in the
Here's
future. So
here's the deal.
Spags has been huge, man.
Yes,
Shout out to Coach Spags, man, because
yes.
that dude is a
So
genius.
when it comes down to it, Mahomes has gotten the hate that he's gotten because he's winning, and yeah, he got put into a perfect situation.
I'm not gonna say that.
Yeah, let's be real. Cut the shit.
I'm dead in that.
He got picked over by
fact,
every team for the first 9 picks. The Chiefs traded picks to hop up to get him. So whoever had a chance to get Patrick Mahomes, you fucked up within the first 9 picks. And you let the Chiefs and Andy Reid get him, right? So let's be real. It wasn't that he just landed in a perfect situation.
Man, Dad,
he was picked up by a team that wanted him.
Hey, check this out. And look, this is not me shitting on Andy Reid because I think Andy Reid he might go down as probably the greatest coach of all time because he's done it in multiple situations and has been a winner in terms of having winning seasons and doing it with multiple different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, this is not to shit on Andy Reid, but we're not going to downplay what Mahomes has meant also to Andy Reid as much as Andy Reid has meant to Mahomes.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And Andy Reid's record in the playoffs is 11-13. 11-13. Do y'all know what his record is with Mahomes? 15-3. 15-3, bro. That's like a night and day difference, bro. That's like it's not even a comparison.
Big difference.
So and he was coaching for like almost 15, 16 plus years, bro. It's not like you didn't have a good enough sample size.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, it's not like he had bad quarterbacks. Like Alex Smith was not a bad quarterback.
Exactly.
He was a solid quarterback. They went to a Super Bowl, bro. Like,
exactly.
I'm just saying, like when people, he had Brett Favre, like, well, he didn't actually. He was the coordinator, but he was partially responsible for Brett Favre, But I'm just saying, like, people got to stop this. It's like it's way one-sided when it comes to Mahomes. It's always all Andy Reid. No, Mahomes has something to do with that as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
It's like Phil Jackson and Pip and Mike. It's the same thing. They aren't what they are without the other. It goes both ways.
It's the thing about it is that people are taking it for, the situation, but people don't understand. It's like you finding that perfect balance, right? You had to have the one in order for you to be whole. You had to have that one part, right? So I will say, look, they can downplay what Mahomes has done, right? All we have watched since, let's say, before Brady got ready to leave, we have watched a young kid come into this league, take the league by storm, win a Super Bowl, and go back to another one, lose, and then lose again before getting back to another Super Bowl, working his ass off because he wants to be great, and getting back to that point again and winning another Super Bowl and then doing it back to back. To hate on a man who busted his ass, and especially this past season when, let's be real, If you guys wanted to beat the Chiefs or win a Super Bowl, the thing about it was last year was your season. It should have been the season somebody else won.
Yeah,
And you didn't
for
fucking
sure.
take advantage of it.
I agree.
Everybody made comments about me putting out the shit talking about Shanahan and Sirianni might be on the hot seats in fucking Philly and in fucking San Francisco. Well, let's be real. Shanahan has been to a number of Super Bowls
I think
where
it's three.
he has called the shots as far as offense goes. And in each one of those Super Bowls, he has choked away leads.
Double-digit lead at that.
Sirianni, he talked a lot of shit after they lost that Super Bowl to the damn Chiefs. And then they came in and played against the Chiefs last year. And
talked more shit.
Talked more shit walking down through the tunnel, this and this and that. Let's just be real. They didn't win very much after they played the Chiefs that season.
Oh,
They
yeah.
didn't. They didn't win very much.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Chiefs they exposed them on the offense. Like
They
that
did.
defense,
Yeah.
they low key gave a little key to stopping, or not necessarily stopping, but slowing
They
down that
did.
Eagles offense, man.
So what I'm saying is no matter how you want to look at it, a lot of the times we'll look at shit and we won't look at it for what it really is. We'll tell everybody that it's because they're getting, favorable calls, or it's because he landed in a perfect situation. Tell yourself whatever it is you got to tell yourself to make you feel good. But let's be real about this shit. Most of the people that's talking this shit about Mahomes and the Chiefs, the reason they're doing it is because they probably could have had an opportunity to draft that quarterback, and they decided to go in a different fucking route. And now your team sucks. Pass. I'm just saying.
Man, hey, Dad, I seen this dude.
Let's be real. The teams that passed on Mahomes, they ain't been shit since then.
No, man, look.
Really?
I seen this dude say that he said there's like 15 other quarterbacks. If you put them in this situation, they could be just as successful as Mahomes.
Yeah, blah blah.
I think I sent you that one.
You may have, but let's be honest.
Like, come on, man.
They said the same thing about any other quarterback that has been in Andy Reid's system, right? Have any of those other quarterbacks done as well as Patrick Mahomes? I'll be honest with you. Alex Smith, he had an opportunity to prove that he was, every bit as good as Patrick Mahomes, right? Alex Smith, the only knock on Alex Smith is that he couldn't get us past the first round, right?
Not only that, I think the thing with Alex Smith is that, look, Alex Smith was a good quarterback for us.
He was a good quarterback. He was a very good quarterback.
The problem was that
arm strength was one.
He didn't like arm strength, and he didn't like throwing the ball downfield.
Exactly. And he had Tyreek. And he had Tyreek. He had Travis, right? So he had those guys.
He had Kareem Hunt when he ran. He broke the rush when he led the league in rushing yards.
Yes. So we know that he's got players that have played in the systems, and they have not done what Mahomes has done.
And on top of that, he had Jamal Charles at one point.
Yep.
He got to have it when they had Justin Houston
and
Derek Johnson and Eric Berry.
Yeah.
He had a decent team. It wasn't like the team was ass. Like,
no.
Just saying. And
I'm just gonna say this and I will move on, but I'm just gonna say this and let everybody know. I don't care what team you root for. I don't. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, if you're a Seattle Seahawks fan, if you're let's say a Carolina Panthers fan. I don't care what team you root for. You have to respect what Mahomes has been able to do at such an early age with all the lights on him, especially knowing that every time he hits that field, whoever they're playing, it's pretty much their Super Bowl. And they come out gunning for him. He has never, ever wavered in his belief of what he can do and what that team can accomplish. And Andy Reid has always had that guy's back and believes in him more so than any quarterback I think he's ever believed in. And that includes Favre.
Oh yeah.
So let's just be honest, and we'll leave it there, and we'll move on. And some of the other takeaways I want people to understand is that I think will be they'll make some kind of noise. They'll be a little bit relevant in this game, right? How do you think Worthy is going to do in this game? Because you got to remember, the corners are going to be pretty good for the Ravens.
Yes. I tell you what. So did you see what Roquan Smith said? I think you know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
So
go ahead.
He's talking about making the Chiefs one-dimensional and taking the run game away. Taking the run game away from the Chiefs, right?
Yeah.
And making them a one-dimensional pass team. In what world do you think making the Chiefs pass is a good thing?
I'm not sure.
Because here's the thing, though. When you play the Chiefs, more times than not, they're going to pass the ball anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But my thing is if because if you're loading that box up to stop the run, you know what's going to happen, right?
Well, all I can say is,
if you're loading the box up to stop the run, Xavier Worthy is going to be in the end zone.
Yeah, bombs away.
I'm going to just tell y'all that right now.
Going to be air raid
all that. If you play one safety high, and you bringing everybody up to load up in the box, and you think that's going to work, and you don't think the receivers is going to torch you, and Mahomes is not going, go ahead and try that. Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
It's
know. It's going to be Dad, I'm going to tell you this right now. If they do that, it's going to be a goddamn light show. I'm going to tell you that right now. You seen a glimpse of what Worthy did in that preseason game when dude whiffed.
Yeah.
And he gave him that little stop and then touchdown.
Yep. Yeah.
Go ahead and try it. Go ahead and try it.
I don't think they're that,
Please don't.
I don't think they're that crazy to try to, if you're going to load up in the box, if you load up in the box to stop the run, number one, let's be honest. The Chiefs don't run the ball. They don't run that ball that much, right? But if you don't load up the box, you're not doing anything different than what every other team has done.
That's what I'm saying. And then on top of that, my thing is, if you want to take away one thing so they can be one-dimensional, wouldn't it be to take away the pass game?
You would think.
And then the run game? That makes no sense, bro.
Hey.
I hope that's their game plan. Pray that's their game plan, bro. Because if they do that, it is a wrap.
I don't know what happened to us, Coach.
Oh, yeah, let's just let Mahomes pass the ball game.
Okay. I thought I had him, Coach.
We'll take that.
But all of a sudden, I just seen the back of his jersey, and he was in the end zone. That dude's fast.
And I'm gonna be honest too, though. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this year we're going to see Pacheco a lot more in the passing game.
Oh, you will.
And then on top of that,
definite.
even if they were trying to load up the box and try to stop the run, I still think the Chiefs can get good yards in the run game still.
I mean, listen, that's the whole purpose.
Especially with the three backs we got. Well, we ain't got no small,
No. That was the purpose of getting.
We got some dogs in the backfield.
That was the purpose of getting Carson and getting P. Ryan. because they're bigger backs who fall forward, and they know how to bring that power and hit you.
Exactly.
They're going to do what they need to do to make sure that they gain yards, right? And if you whiff on any one of those big-legged motherfuckers,
I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying.
it's a problem. So yeah, you can take away the run all you want to, but we all know what you got to do that. You're going to have to load
But
the
you know what's
box up.
crazy?
So
You know what's crazy to me though? Like, I think it's disrespectful too because they're making it seem like the offensive line is like chopped liver or something. You don't think Chris or Joe Tooney and Creed Humphrey and Trey Smith ain't hearing that?
of course they are. Of
And
course they are.
even Kingsley, like
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
think our line is going to be better this year.
Hey,
I really do believe that. I
the
think our line is going to be a lot better this year.
the
So,
line, the offensive line might be really, really good.
especially that interior. Think about it. This is a contract year for Trey Smith.
Oh yeah.
Creed Humphrey just got paid.
Yeah.
Tooney, we'll see. I think he'll be fine. Like I think he'll be. He might not be exactly where he was at last year, but I think he'll still be solid.
Well,
So
I think we're going to see Worthy. I don't know how many snaps I think he'll get, but I do think you'll see him in there on certain plays that are set up.
he's on kick return.
Yeah, he'll be on kick return, but I think you'll see
He'll be
him
on
on
kick
plays.
return.
He'll be on certain plays where he is going to be going, and there's going to be a lot of vertical routes, right? So I think you'll see a lot of that from him. I don't know how many of those you'll see from him, but with the absentee of uh, of Hollywood, you might see him a little bit more. Rasheed Rice
You
is going to.
think? I was just gonna ask you. You think you see him and Hartman on the field at the same time?
You might.
I'm
You
just
might.
saying, like,
You might, because think about it. If you can put Hardman, Worthy, and Rasheed Rice on the field at the same time, all you're doing is you're mimicking what you possibly could have on the field with Hollywood and Worthy and
exactly.
Rice at the same time, right? You've got another speedster in Nicole, right? So you you might as well start looking at what you can do and how these looks are actually going to work against live, opponents, right? And see what you can do, right? So I don't have a problem with it. I think that would be a great thing to try out and see, you know, hey, you never know what can happen. You never know what you'll find
I think
out.
Rasheed. I think Rasheed will be the leading receiver though. I think
Rasheed
he'll get a
will.
touchdown.
Uh,
I think he will. I'd be
Rasheed
shocked if
looked,
like Worthy gets like 80 yards or 60 yards or something like
yeah.
that, like the first game.
Rasheed,
But you never
Rasheed
know.
looked, Rasheed looked really good during the preseason. I like the way he's catching that ball and turning upfield. That was a big, ability of his last year, was to be able to catch and turn and go upfield. I love that. I think with him at his size, being able to do that, it brings another dimension to that Chiefs offense, which is why I think they did so well in the playoffs this past season in their en route
I
to
actually think he looks
their
faster
Super Bowl.
too.
Yeah, he does look faster. Uh,
I think he looks a little bit faster. So
so
that'll help.
I will say that I think Worthy will get some playing time. I don't know how much. I think probably, let's say maybe anywhere between 18 to 20% of the snaps. I think he could be out there because you got to remember they still have
I
Sky
think he'll
Moore.
get. I think he'll get a couple shots,
Yeah,
like deep shots.
yeah, he
I'm
might
thinking
get it.
about two,
Yeah,
maybe two
I
or three,
I can
maybe.
see that.
But he'll definitely get some.
I can see Carson Steele getting a lot of short yardage chances that I think that can come into play, especially third down and one, third down and two. I think that comes into play a lot. So, to me, I think
Question.
you're gonna. What's up?
I was just gonna ask you. Do you think they run the ball a lot more than expected this game?
Ooh,
Like
you know what?
they might. Reed might be like, all right, we just gonna play smash them out. Because I'll put it this way, right? The three running backs we got now. I mean, Pacheco did slim down a little bit, but he's still Pacheco, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So the three running backs we got now, there are more workhorse backs if you really think about it. Like
They are.
Carson, he's a workhorse back. That's what he
Yeah.
is. He's not a back that you just give it to 3, 4 times a game and then expect to get. You know,
Yeah.
you could grind with these backs more than you could any other
You
time
you definitely
with
could,
Mahomes.
and
Like you could actually grind the ball with this
it
team, like with these
it
backs, man.
also
Like seriously.
it also kind of depends on what the offensive line is doing during the game.
All
You
right.
got to remember the defensive line for the Ravens is not depleted. They have some players on that line, guys like Matabuke. Matabuke's nice.
Yeah, he's good.
So,
Yeah, he's real
uh,
good.
but the thing is it all depends on what the offensive line. If they're getting a good push and they're opening up holes, and we're getting, let's say we're getting just gashing them for like 4 or 5 yards a carry. I could see the Chiefs fucking pounding the shit out of that ball, just running it down their throats. I can see that. I can see a little bit of play action coming out of this, right?
Yeah.
Roquan wants to talk about we can take the runaway. Okay, y'all start loading up that box. Well, here comes the play action, right? So I could see that happening. I could see them running the ball a lot more than we're maybe used to. Now,
We're
then
used
again,
to. That
yeah,
was what I was asking.
then again, this is Andy Reid.
Right.
This
Yeah.
is Andy Reid.
I was only suggesting this specifically for this team
Yeah,
because unlike any other year, we have not had a three-headed monster in terms of running back type
yeah.
that we do now. Like we literally do have three workhorse backs that you could really use and
We
run the
had
ball with.
we had it with Darrell Williams and Darren
Nah,
Williams.
it's not the same. Nah, it's
I,
not the
I
same.
know, but I'm just saying we did have it. They weren't as physically gifted as far as
Yeah, I don't think
size
because
as
even P Ryan,
Carson
because even P
and
Ryan,
Pirine.
like P Ryan is a tank.
Yeah, he is. He's a
Like
tank.
he's a tank, and not only that, all these dudes can catch out the backfield.
So
Like
here's my question to
just
you.
saying.
I want a prediction. What do you predict as far as the score goes tomorrow night for our season opener? Ravens versus Chiefs.
Ooh, I'm gonna be honest with you. Uh,
Hey, I got to give a shout out to Eugene. Eugene said, "Yo, yo, yo, I'm in the building." Hey, Gene, I appreciate you,
hey,
bro.
we appreciate you. Yeah,
Gene,
man.
I,
Shout
I
out to
do
Eugene.
appreciate. Yeah, my guy Eugene. He's always coming through for me. Yeah, prediction.
Um,
What are you predicting? Score wise, I don't care about how many. Look, I'm not asking nobody to predict about how many yards Patrick's gonna throw for. I
yeah,
don't care how
I
many.
am gonna be honest with you. I think the Chiefs are trying to. I think they're gonna try to come out and send a message about this offense, man.
You could be
I
right.
think the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs score is gonna be. I think it'll be 35, 35-21.
Okay.
That's what
Okay.
that's what I'm going.
You giving the Ravens you giving them not so much of a chance as far as the score goes.
Nah.
You about
And
15,
I'm gonna be
14
honest
points.
with you. Don't let that defense be anything like it was last year. I know we lost Legarius last
Yeah,
year.
yeah.
That's a big loss. But if this defense is anywhere close to what it was last year, they might not score 21 points.
Well, we got a prediction in the
Same.
chat from my boy Mance. Mance is saying 29-17 Chiefs.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not too
I,
far
I
off our
like
odds,
that
man.
one. I like that one. I
Yeah, I
think
like
that's
that
a
one.
Mance.
That's
Man,
probably more realistic.
it
That's probably
is.
more realistic.
Man,
So
man's a big time Chief fan, so he pays attention. So I'm gonna give my score. This is my prediction on the score for that game, right? And I'm gonna say Ravens 22,
wait, would you say the Chiefs?
Ravens 22,
Oh, okay.
Chiefs 28.
Ooh,
That's
you think it's
that's
gonna
my
be that close?
that's my prediction. I think
That's a good one too, though.
I think that's It's the first game of the season. It's prime time. It's the only game on tomorrow night. Live. Hey, I think it's going to be a good battle. It's going to be in Arrowhead. I think the Chiefs pull that game off, and it's going to be a knockout. I think both teams are going to come to play. We got some more predictions from Brent. He's got 37-17.
Chiefs?
Yeah, he said it might be crazy, Chiefs. He said 37-17. I think it's going to be a very close game. I think they win by 6 to 7 points, right? I'm not going to predict that they'll win by more, just because every time the Chiefs do play the Ravens, it's always a good game, right? So I can't disrespect the Ravens like that. They've been pretty good games, especially the last couple times. Like now, I will say that the last time that they did play the Ravens before the playoffs, right? It was pretty bad one. That one was pretty bad. But I'm giving this last one.
Yeah, they've all been pretty close outside of the 2020 game.
Yeah,
it was 34-20 that game.
Yeah. So, but the Ravens did beat the Chiefs. If I remember right, they came into Arrowhead and came back and won it one year.
That's 2021. That's the year that Clyde fumbled the ball.
Yeah. So
we should have won that game.
Yeah, we should have. But it's been some good games. So I will not disrespect the Ravens. I like Lamar Jackson. For everybody that don't know, I do like Lamar Jackson.
I like Lamar. I don't like Ravens fans.
No, I don't. Ravens fans, I got one.
I'm gonna let it be right now. I despise Ravens fans, Bengals fans, Bills fans, Cowboys fans, and 49er fans. Oh, yeah. Let me not forget the Eagles.
Yeah.
I despise all 6 of you. I didn't even throw the Broncos or the Raiders in there because right now they kind of they in their own lane right now. They can't even say nothing.
Yeah.
But them other 6 right there, nah, y'all got to get this work, man. I'm sick of y'all.
Yeah, Brent said Patrick likes to keep it close. He didn't say he likes to keep it close. So,
I do remember that.
Yeah. So I do say 22-28. That's my score. Got some good predictions in the chat. I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I really do. Moving on, we do have another game. Another game on Friday. That's going to be between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Sparrows. I mean, the Eagles.
I hope Packers win.
Here's my question, right? I got a guy, he's a Packers fan. Yeah, Dreamus, if you ain't watching.
I don't know, though, man, because Packers fans starting to get on my nerves.
Listen, Dreamus, I know you probably ain't watching. I know you probably ain't watching, so I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it just for you. I'm picking the fucking Packers to win this game, just so you know. And if you tell me tomorrow that you watch my show and I ask you about this specific situation, if you lie to me, everybody going to know about it. Everybody. So, so anyway, I'm picking the Packers to win this game, right? And there's a couple of things on here that I want to hit on real quick. There's going to be 2 running backs who have changed teams that are making their debut for their new teams in this game. Josh Jacobs, formerly of the Raiders.
Saquon.
And Saquon Barkley, formerly of the Giants, going to the Eagles, right? I think these are 2 guys that are going to make a really big impact on their teams. As long as they can stay healthy, these 2 guys are going to make a really big impact on their teams. Josh Jacobs is the one I'm really, really, really. Everybody else is talking about Saquon. Everybody else is talking about Saquon.
Hey, hold on, man. I got to talk about Josh Jacobs right now. Man.
What?
Why the hell didn't you come to the Chiefs, bro? Could you imagine? I want you to think about this for a second. Let's say we got Pacheco, right?
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs comes to the Chiefs. and we get Carson Steele.
Yeah.
We might not need Samaje Perine at that point, but you never know. They might. You never know. But let's just say you got them three, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
I know. And you know, they're playing this
Josh
game in.
Jacobs, what are you doing? What are you
Hey,
doing,
hey,
bro?
hey. He
No,
made
I'm
his
mad.
choice.
I'm upset.
You know how they say you make your choice, now you gotta lie in it, right? Here's the deal. They're playing this game in Brazil. This is the no green game. If anybody knows what I'm talking about, I know Brent does. He was telling me about this shit. I was like, really? I did not realize that there was to be no green by either team. And both of these teams wear a lot of green. Has something to do with Brazil and some of the gangs down there. So no green on the field. So here's the deal. Josh Jacobs is the guy I'm looking forward to watching with the Green Bay Packers.
He's gonna be good for them.
I think he's going to be excellent for them. Excellent
Yeah,
running back for
I'm
their
actually
system.
mad. I'm actually mad about it. Like I'm so upset because
He
I
would have
know
been
Chris
nice in
tried to
Kansas
get
City.
him.
He would have been
Oh
nice
my
in Kansas
god,
City.
bro!
Whoo! Yes, he would have been real nice in Kansas City. But
Man,
but he's a Raider, and I think that was part of it that he did not want to
I
go.
don't, I don't give a damn. You gonna help us come chase this 3-peat?
Yeah,
You know,
Josh, you could have been part of something special, man.
you
You
know
could
what
have
I'm
been part
saying?
of
You
this.
could have been part of. You could have been legendary, bro.
Yeah.
You
No,
know,
no, no.
you let that fader, that fake Raider stuff get to your head, man. What's wrong with you? Come over to the
Uh,
good side.
Hey, if you don't know it, I guarantee you, Ladarius is like, y'all better quit talking about my team. Y'all better quit talking
Sick of
about
it.
my
I'm
team.
sick. I'm sick of it.
Anyway,
It's
my
crazy.
question to you is, who are you more looking forward to seeing during that game? Are you looking more forward to seeing Saquon and what he does with the
I'm
Eagles,
going
or
with I'm going with Josh Jacobs by
me
far.
too? I think Josh Jacobs is
Yeah.
gonna be, he's gonna be nice
Like
with Green Bay.
I like Saquon, but
But
I'm
everybody's
gonna be
talking
honest
about
with
him.
you.
Yeah,
But here's the thing, though. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I need to see what that line looks like without Jason Kelsey.
yeah,
I don't
that's a
think
good
enough people
question.
are talking about that. Like,
I don't think they are either.
Jason Kelsey was the anchor of that line, bro. Like,
Yeah,
and I'm not saying they're gonna be bad, but I got to see what that line looked like this year. I need
I
to
do.
see some games
Yes,
and see what they doing.
I
So
know that they had some replacement for him, and I cannot think of that guy's name. Brandon, if you're
yeah,
watching, you should have put it in the chat and let me know. I don't remember the guy's name that's replacing Kelsey in Philly, but I know he had a lot of snaps. Just he's he's not Kelsey. So, but you're right. I think that is a question that does come into question, right? Uh, during this battle that we're going to see between the Green Bay Packers and the Philadelphia Eagles, the two quarterbacks that are going to be starting for each team respectively, uh, Jalen Hurts last year, 2023, he was 20. I think it was 23 touchdowns with 15 interceptions. Did not have a great season. Still dangerous, but did not have a great season, right? Uh, that was after signing that big contract he had just gotten, right? Uh, a lot of things came into play, though. And so I don't really hold that against him. We'll see what happens this year. And then you have Jordan Love, who had his breakout season with the Green Bay Packers. And Jordan Love was 32 touchdowns last year in 2023 with 11 interceptions. Now, Jordan Love also had his first playoff road win as a starter. So they did some things with Jordan Love in that Green Bay Packers team, and the Green Bay Packers they have they only have one player on their roster that's over 30 years old. One player.
wow,
They only
they've drafted very well.
Yes, they've got one player on their roster over 30 years old. That's ridiculous, man. They are young, right? So uh,
I want to say
they
I want to see who the I know the Chiefs are forward.
I couldn't tell you who it is, but I do know that they're pretty damn young. They're either the youngest or close to the youngest. as far as Green Bay is concerned. Green Bay also, their man, their key receivers are all back on that receiving core for Green Bay. Christian Watson is going to be back. Romeo Dobbs is back. Jaden Reed is back. Dontavian Wicks is back. Their wide receiving core is very young, very gifted. Jordan Love is going to have a very good season this year, I think. And I actually think Green Bay can make some real noise in that NFC. Some real noise in that NFC, right? The Eagles have 3 new starting corners that are going to be coming to this game. Two of those starting corners are going to be Quinyon Mitchell, who they drafted in the first round, and the other one's going to be Cooper DeJean. Cooper DeJean from the second round.
2 studs. I will give them that.
Yeah, they did get two nice corners out of this draft, and not only that they still have Darius Slay, and he's going to be coming back for another season with the Eagles, so that does help them, and also C.J. Gardner-Johnson is back with the Eagles. That's also going to help them out. C.J. Gardner-Johnson is nice. I like C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Very good football player. Very good football player. Other things to note during this game, Vic Fangio is making his defensive coordinator debut with the Eagles. And another thing that I really, kind of quiet as kept, did you know that Devin White, the linebacker, played for years for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, he is now a Philadelphia Eagle. But here's the thing. He may not be traveling with the team to go to this game.
Well, why?
They haven't really said. At least I haven't seen as of yet. So, but yeah, there's a lot of stories in that game alone between
That's
the
gonna be
youth.
a good game.
It is going to be a good
I'll
game.
definitely be watching that.
There's a lot of stories in this game alone that people aren't talking about, but man, just even with the whole thing about the no green game where neither team can wear green. From what I'm understanding, the Eagles are going to have to wear black helmets. I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's a lot of things going on. First, the first 2 games in the NFL season, a lot of intriguing shit going on, and I would just want to say that if you are a fan of NFL football, like I'm a fan of NFL football, these first 2 games to start the season off, I think are going to be very, very good. I don't think you could have picked a better game to start the season off with. In Kansas City, ring ceremony, or not ring ceremony, unveiling of the new flag in Arrowhead, Super Bowl champion. I think all of that is going to come into play. The stadium is going to be rocking. I'm going to give a shout out to my guy, Garrett. Garrett is going up there for the game. Him and his dad. We've been talking about it for like the last week. He is so geeked to go. And I hope you have a blast up there in Kansas City to watch the Super Bowl champions, come in and do what they do best, right? And that's win, baby. So I'm actually really, really ready for this season to go. I'm so ready.
Wait.
I
can't wait till tomorrow.
I can't. I'm dying for this game to get started, man. So, but just because, like I said, these 2 games that are going to be happening, Thursday, Friday, I don't think you could have asked for 2 better games. I really don't. The intrigue behind what the Eagles did during the offseason, you're going to be able to see that. Also with what, everybody's talking about. One of the players we did not talk much about was Derrick Henry for the Ravens, right? I don't really talk much about Derrick Henry because Derrick Henry has been good for everybody when it comes to their fantasy leagues and stuff like that, what he's done to other teams.
Here's the thing with Derrick Henry. He's gonna get his.
He's going
You
to
know,
get
like
his. The
he's
thing
gonna get
is,
his yard. You know
we
what I'm
don't know
saying? Like,
how much they're going to run him. We really don't. Like I said, none of these guys played any snaps during the preseason. So it's hard to get any kind of scouting report on what they're going to look like or have any kind of, feel for what they might do or what they might not do, may not do. So that's just hard to tell. I will say this. Derrick Henry is one of the best backs in the league and at one point was the best back in the league. I don't know if that's what he is now. He may have something to prove, right?
I don't
So,
know, man. Like, I get a lot of people say it's Christian McCaffrey, and look, I don't have an issue with them saying that, but man, when it just comes to straight up and running the ball,
yeah,
I mean, it don't really get no better than Derrick Henry, man. And he's
yeah,
been consistent. Outside of that 1 year he got hurt,
yeah.
even when he
True.
came back, he still ran for almost 1,000 yards.
Yeah. So we're
So
gonna see what the thing that's gonna I think may hurt Derrick Henry with between these two teams is the fact that we don't know what his offensive line is really gonna be, what they're
that's
gonna
the
look like.
thing. Yeah.
His
But I
offensive
mean,
line.
here's the thing, though. To be fair, the Titans' offensive line has been ass. I'm just saying. I mean, complete garbage. He still ran for 1,500 yards last year.
Well,
No, he
no,
ran for
not last
1,100
year.
yards last year.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, it
not
was
last
1,100
year.
last year. But the year before it was 1,500. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, dude's still putting up crazy numbers, man. Like,
He's still a very good running back. So
that's what I'm saying. Like,
I'm not
so, like I
I'm
said,
not
he
too
gonna get his
concerned
numbers.
about
So.
I'm not too concerned about what Derrick Henry's going to do, right? Because Derrick, like you said, is going to get his numbers, right? And even if he doesn't play well the first game, as time goes on, he's going to get his feet back up underneath him, being in a new offense, or being with a new team anyway. He's going to get his feet back underneath him, and I actually think that this is actually good for Derrick Henry to be in a running offense the way he is right now with the Ravens. We'll see what opens up for them, right? But I wasn't. I've seen him, and I think that his running style translates to the Ravens very good.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't really have a problem with it. The guys that I was,
I'll put it this way. I was just going to say, I'll put it this way. I think Spags is more worried about Lamar than
yeah,
Derrick Henry.
yeah, I think you're
That's
right.
what I'll say. And it's
Yeah.
not to say that Derrick Henry is going to be bad, but Lamar's obviously more dangerous because he can,
Yeah,
he ain't making people. Derrick Henry can run people over, but he ain't making people mess in the open field like that. He's more of
true,
a brute force.
true.
Lamar is just more dynamic. So
With that being said, I just want to tell everybody we appreciate everybody that has showed up to our live tonight. I'm gonna get this off my chest and I'm gonna say it. We've been doing this channel for close to since February. Been doing it since February, right? And we've made some strides as far as fan base or subscribers. We're now at 750 subscribers to our channel, and we're not big. We're a small channel, right? We know that not a lot of people get a chance to watch our show, or they don't know about us, and we get that. It is very, very hard to try to come up with content to do this show the way that we want to do it, and a lot of times, it can be frustrating for us when we do decide to do a show and nobody hears about it or they don't know about it. All I'm going to say is we will continue to keep doing this show to the best of our ability. For the most part, the reason why I even started this show was so that I could actually spend some time conversating about sports, which is what I love to do, with probably the only other person I know who loves sports as much as me, my son, Mike. So the
Already know,
reason,
man. Come on.
the reason that was the reason for the show. And sometimes we get lost. Especially I do. I get lost up in, the numbers, and
Me too.
I try to make sense of everything. And I don't need to make sense of everything when it comes to what it is that I'm doing, especially if it's something I love. I'm human. I make those thoughts come into my head. I'm not doing this or I'm not doing that. I'm not getting this many subscribers. I'm not getting this many views. I don't really care about the views no more, to be honest with you. I just want to be able to do and talk about what it is I love to talk about, which is sports. And I just got to keep that in mind. And I hope that whatever we decide to do, whatever we talk about, that if you love sports the way that we love sports, and if you're a Chiefs fan, if you're a Cowboys fan, if you're a Steelers fan, if you're a Boston Celtics, Chicago Bull, Laker fan, I don't care what it is. If you love sports the way we love sports, we hope that you will give us a chance, come through. Every Wednesday night, we'll try to do a live every Wednesday night. We will still do some video recorded shows that we pre-recorded, but we want to start doing the lives a little bit more. And I think it's a good way to interact with people. So if for any reason you want to talk about whatever topic it is as far as sports go, leave it in a comment. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, please do. We would appreciate it. And share it. Share what we did tonight if you can. What that does is it pushes it out as far as our content to other people, and the algorithm, will see that and see if, hey, look, maybe somebody else will want to see this, and they'll start pushing it to other people as well. So with that being said, I would like to thank everybody that joined us tonight, all the people that I know in the chat. I appreciate all you fellas a lot. Y'all don't understand how much. And we will continue to keep putting out content. Like I said, sometimes you get lost in the sauce about what it is you're doing and why you're doing it. And I just want to let everybody know we will continue to keep doing this as long as God is allowing me to breathe. So thanks everybody for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. My son Mike appreciates it. And we hope
Most
you guys
definitely.
come back. We hope you guys come back next week on Wednesday for a live, and we'll find out what happened with these games in particular, and we'll look forward to what's going on as far as the NFL and college football and everything else. So that being said, I'd like to say thank you and peace. I hope everybody puts a prayer in there for those kids down there in Georgia tonight.